You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion. Delivered by conflicting media reports, we connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. But before we get into our intriguing content today, please join me in welcoming our first featured guest. First timer on Ron Siegel Radio, Eddie Luna, Realty One Group Roads. Welcome.
Welcome.
Glad to have you with us. And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are operators standing by.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
Well, I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan, a plan to save you money. I personally work with you, even if you don't have any needs today. Save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, we're celebrating today. We celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio. There's always something wonderful to celebrate. International Day of Medical Physics. I can't even spell that stuff. I went and took a physics class once while I was at Chapman College way back in the last century. I think I lasted about a day. They said science, I said see ya. It's just the way it is. But I can get behind the other ones that we're celebrating today. Today is International Merlot Day, and I am a big fan of Merlot. I love Merlot, and I don't care, although I will admit the majority of what I drink in the way of Merlot comes from one of my favorite regions, Paso Robles. Love Paso Robles. You like Paso Robles?
I've been there.
Love it.
San Luis Obispo.
Yeah, love that area.
Great.
My wife and I go there probably 3 times a year, and for some reason, I buy more wine than I drink. We can have a party to get rid of some of the wine just so that I can get it all in my wine fridge. And we put that together with National Bittersweet Chocolate with Almonds Day. I don't know about that one. I'm not a big fan of bittersweet chocolate. I love almonds. But when you put it together with the Merlot, then we're okay. And 70% bittersweet. That's the one I keep in the wine fridge. A lot of people like that with port. I'm not a big fan of port wines, but Merlot, yes, Tobin James, Turley. I could just think about that all morning if you're listening to us as we record live. If you're listening to us on our ABC News and Talk, AM 1490 or 98.1 on the FM dial, there is a very, very high likelihood that I will have a glass of Merlot in my hand by the time this is playing. Just throw that out there. Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 48 points right now. The S&P 500 is up 8.77. The NASDAQ is up 103 points. Oil down $2.85 a barrel, 77.97. If the president were awake and doing his job, he might follow through on what he said, because he did say that if oil got below $80 or $70 a barrel, he might fill up the strategic petroleum reserves. Does anybody believe that that's going to happen?
You know better than that.
No. Although I'm not even sure he's awake, so that's a whole different issue. I guess. But, I guess there's a lot of problems in the Biden world right now. If you notice that now in the polls, and this is, I think it was an ABC poll that they came out and said that in a race, Donald Trump wins 5 out of 7 of these, swing states. Now, if ABC said that, I don't know if the rest of the country believes that. But if ABC said that, then I think the rest of the country believes that. If ABC said that, then I think the rest of the country believes that. If ABC said that, then I think the rest of the country believes that. If ABC said that, then I think the rest of the country believes that. If ABC said that, then I think the rest of the country believes that. If ABC said that, then I think the rest of the country believes that. Now, if ABC said that, The likelihood is it's probably 7 out of 7 because they did just go the other way. And how about the trial that's going on? Is this a joke or what? I mean, you have a defendant that's on the stand and the presiding judge says, I don't want to hear what you have to say. Can somebody help me understand what he's there for? Is it just so that they can have a show before they convict and it goes to the appellate courts? Unbelievable watching what's going on right now. Just amazing how this is all going. And you got two people that are prosecuting the case, a judge and the attorney general, New York, how came out and said that they're going to get him. They didn't know what they were going to get him for, but they're going to get him. Is that, think about that. If you can be a billionaire and a former president and they can do this to you, what do you think? Maybe just a little radio host. What could they do to somebody like me? What could they do to you? Think about all those things. Unbelievable. Let's see what else is going on in the world right now. I'm seeing this article. You got to love some of the articles. It's on Market Watch right now. And they're talking about the Fed is likely to cut rates below 3%. Can I just tell you what my thoughts are right there? Well, even if you say no, I'm going to anyway.
Such an idiot.
What is going to be the catalyst for the Federal Reserve to bring rates below 3%? Now, I'm going to share with you. We had a good week in mortgage rates last week. Do you really think that's going to hold? Not right now. There's no catalyst for it. The government, the Federal Reserve says they want to see inflation at 2%. We're not there yet. We're close, very, very close. Not by the metrics that the Federal Reserve's using, but we're close. They say that employment is still strong. And I've told you, I've shown you, I've documented that the numbers that we're getting from the Bureau of Labor Statistics is false. They've changed them every single month. Right after they come out this month, they change them next month. And they're overstated every time. Now, I did study economics when I was and statistics when I was at Chapman College. That wasn't core math, but it still works. The likelihood of what they're talking about happening, they say it's 12 standard deviations. Do you know what 12 standard deviations means? Like, it's almost impossible. If an economist or a forecaster can get within one standard deviation, they feel they're doing a great job. The way these numbers are coming out, 12 standard deviations. They come out with the CPI numbers. And then they say, well, they're seasonally adjusted. What does that mean? Well, we change them to say whatever we want them to say. Eventually, they're going to come out with the right numbers, and we're going to all be shocked. The headlines might even show the truth. And even with all this fake economic data, the president can't survive. Think about that concept. Now, yes, I know he's going to win in California, but Californians don't even look at who's running for anything. I'm just going to throw it out there because, yes, I am in California. I heard a thing, they had a debate for Senate the other day. The only Republican that's running was not even invited. Think about that concept. So you've got Katie Porter and Chicken Schiff and Barbara Lee. Okay, they're all out there chatting. Steve Garvey, the one people might really know, he's not even there. Unbelievable. Let's see. Jeff Sow. What does Jeff have to say this morning? You and I should get financing together to offer. Yeah, this is an easy one, right? Jeff, you're exactly right. The judge and the attorney general in New York say Mar-a-Lago is worth $18 million. What do you think, Eddie? I'm not going to get you in the conversation there, but you're a realtor. You know real estate valuation, right? In Florida, a piece of property that's that big that generates $10 million a year just in subscriber revenue. Probably worth a little more than $18 million.
And it's really only worth what somebody's willing to pay for it. But
and somebody's willing to sell it for, right?
Exactly.
Jeff and I could find people to pay $18 million. I don't think Mr. Trump's going to sell it for that.
Isn't it true, Ron, that appraisers, they give their opinion?
Right.
Right. So
amazing.
Yeah.
Right. So we're going to go based on the judge and The Gotcha DA. That's what we're going by. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, homeowner net worth has skyrocketed. We're going to talk about that in our continuation of discussing and celebrating veterans. Saluting Service, California's nonprofits uplifting veterans. We're going to talk about that. Eddie is a retired veteran. We're going to talk to him about that and thank him for his service. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
Homeowners over the age of 62 are taking back financial control after retirement with reverse mortgages, and the Siegel Lending Team is here to help you use it to your advantage. Call Ron Siegel with Geneva Financial to receive your free information booklet with no obligation. The booklet answers all your questions, and the best part is, you still own your home. Call Ron Siegel at 1-800-306-1990 or visit RonSiegelRadio.com.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender. Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you could retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit RSRNoDebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit RSRNoDebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis. RSRNoDebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. RSRNoDebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to RSRNoDebt.com. RSRNoDebt.com.
Are you a renter and tired of making monthly payments? Paying off someone else's mortgage? Hey, it's Ron Siegel here to help you stop renting and start owning your dream home with amazing low interest rates. And you could potentially qualify for a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket. So stop renting. Start owning with Ron Siegel. Learn more at RonSiegelRadio.com and start owning today. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Your Credit Matters segment today being brought to you. I'm sorry. The Mortgage Minute. Josh is probably going crazy over there, telling me what planet is he from? Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. One of the beauties of dealing with our friends over at Geneva, I had somebody call me yesterday about 3 o'clock in the afternoon needing something very, very specialized loan. One phone call will fund within a week. Think about that concept. So Geneva's got a portfolio division, all their own money. They make their own rules. So if you need that kind of service, Geneva's got it. Every day at this time, though, OB, MMI, they provide the most comprehensive, accurate, timely, and interactive analysis of pricing ever conducted in the mortgage industry, calculated from actual locked rates. We don't know the APR, points paid or points received. We know locked rates, and they have a 42% market share of all mortgage transactions nationwide. Good market share right there. Let's take a look and see what the loans did yesterday. Unfortunately, rates on almost every one of them locked higher yesterday than they were on Friday. 30-year conforming loan up 7.472. 30-year jumbo loan, that's the only one that was down quite a bit. 7.669 was the jumbo. 30-year FHA loan, 7.232. 30-year USDA loan, that's the rural areas, generally no down payment, 7.393. And the best loan on the market, only for those that earned it. You cannot just apply. That would be the VA loan, 30 years, 7.13. Every morning, though, we do put out a commentary of what we see in the mortgage world. It is one man's opinion, but I do study it a lot. If you want that commentary in your email box, rsrmarketminute.com, rsrmarketminute.com. We'll email that out to you. Now that we've looked at yesterday, we've talked a little bit about today. Let's take a look at what's going on in the markets today. So we've got the S&P 500 up 7.5. 10-year Treasury down 7 basis points. That's the yield, 4.59. And we've got mortgage-backed securities. Those are up a little bit, which means the rate is down a little bit, up 3 basis points. That's what's going on right now. But I do want to tell you a little bit because I've got to share this with you because you're being lied to or misled. And I just throw it out there like it is. Zillow. It's an article on Zillow right now that shows it takes 13 and a half years on average to make a profit on a home purchase. 13 and a half years. Now, that's probably good clickbait for somebody. It's not accurate for anybody. So we went and looked at, and we took the area that they said in their article was the slowest growing market in the country. It was in Columbus, Ohio. And we analyzed Columbus, Ohio based on their appreciation rate. We did add a higher interest rate than what Zillow said. We added mortgage insurance. Zillow didn't. We added some property maintenance. Zillow didn't. We did compare that to having a real roof over your head, which Zillow didn't do that either. So some people like a Coleman tent. Most of us would rather have a roof over our head. So if you're not buying a house, you might need to rent a house. We use the exact rent for the area that Zillow said was the worst place in the country. And you know what the results are? About 2.5 to 3 years based on historic values is the appreciation, is the break-even rate. Now in that area, real estate appreciates over the last 63 years at just over 2%. In Orange County, California, that's a lot. It's a whole lot different, right? We're at about 5.3% for Orange County, California. We're at about 4% in Riverside, California. So you need to know this stuff because Zillow has a big name, a big market share. People believe them. And it's bogus. So I'm just throwing that out there for you. That's the Mortgage Minute brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. So every week, the week before Veterans Day, the week before Memorial Day, we like to honor our veterans on Ron Siegel Radio. We devote as much time as we possibly can. Eddie Luna is with us. Not only is he a veteran, but he's retired, which that means minimum of 20 years of service. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
You know, and I say this all the time, Eddie. So, you know, I do a conservative radio show. Could you imagine some of the things? Now today I was kind of mild. Josh will tell you that I do get a little bit more animated sometimes.
Okay.
Could you imagine doing that in some country that wasn't protected by the U.S. military? When I go to China, I might get away with it one day.
I can't imagine. No,
right?
I can't imagine.
So it's because of men and women like Eddie who are out there, have done these things, that we get all the freedoms. You get, well, I'm going to say it. You get a congresswoman from Michigan, I think it is, that I think is part of the Taliban, right? But she has the right to say what she's saying, no matter how stupid it is, because of the men and women of the United States military. We need to all remember and say thank you at all times to those men and women, because they're putting it all on the line. And Eddie, you and I both are very, very familiar with my favorite loan. It's the VA loan.
VA loan, yes.
My favorite loan, right? And I'm going to throw out there that I get some realtors and some sellers that say, oh, you know something, they need to put a little skin in the game. And my comment is, I'm not a veteran. I put dollar bills, paper in the game.
Right.
Veterans put real skin in the game, right? They're laying it all on the line.
Sacrifice.
Right? They're laying it all on the line.
Yeah, that is true.
Does it baffle you as much as me?
It really does, because I don't think they have an understanding of what we went through to obtain that. It is a benefit, and it's a benefit that we're utilizing.
It's an earned benefit. It's not a gift.
It's not a gift.
Right?
Each and every one of us had to do something for it, go through trials, tribulation, and here we are.
So what branch were you in?
Air Force.
Air Force.
Yes.
So you were flying up above.
Oh my God.
So
Yes.
are you a pilot, or were you doing other things in the Air Force?
I was doing other things.
Okay. How long were you in?
22 years.
22 years.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Wasn't long enough, but I got out because at that time I got married and, you know, had my child. So
nice.
Kind of took a different route.
Yeah. Well, after 22 years, you know, something with nowadays, you know, 22 years is like 3 jobs for people, right? 3 different career paths. People are changing all the time, and you're 22 years in the Air Force. That's a long time.
Yeah, it's a commitment. You know, it's like if you're buying a house or if you're obtaining a loan, it's a commitment as to what you need to do for yourself in order to make it happen. And
so now you're a real estate professional.
I am.
Have
Yes.
you, as at the experience or the training or the dedication that you learned or developed in the military, have you been able to carry some of that forward into this career?
It's so funny because I actually brought the Air Force in this business with me because I was in a form of law enforcement.
Okay.
That I can't say too much about. But in there, you know, when you're going after certain suspects, you might say, you go after family, friends, coworkers, neighbors, or strangers. Well, what I did, Ron, is I brought that into this business. And when I first got started, I was actually afraid. I was really afraid. But what happened was I thought, I'm doing this new career. I'm going to go ahead and contact my family, my friends, my coworkers, my neighbors. Now, the strangers, I started a little something that I do for that in order to obtain a lot of business. I call it the 3-touch method.
Okay. 3-touch method. What is that?
3-touch method. So what happens there is each day when I go out, whether you're at Starbucks, whether you're getting breakfast at McDonald's, Denny's, your cleaners, your gas station, I make it a point to meet 3 people a day who've never met me.
Wow. Okay.
When they meet me, you know, I talk a little bit to them, but I make sure that I give them my card, let them know that I'm here to help them change their life. I don't say anything about real estate. They'll look at the card and say, wow, you're a broker. Why didn't you tell me this? And I said, well, it's more important to get you what you need. I already have what I need. And they'll say, well, what's that? And I said, I have you in front of me listening to me. So you meet 3 people a day, 30 days in a month. That's 90 people times 12. That's 1,080 a year that met me, have my card, and know who I am. I guarantee, and it works. By the way, they do call me.
Interesting.
They'll call me. You know,
So
hey,
it's the Eddie 3 touch.
That's the Eddie 3 touch. You know, I have a slogan, Ron.
Okay.
I walk and talk. I meet and greet. Eddie's ready. Look out, because here we go.
Interesting. Right? Okay.
That's what I do to obtain business. You know, in 2024, I'll open the door to assist you to getting whatever you need.
That's beautiful. Love that. So carrying that life of service, just carrying on. We're going to continue our conversation. Eddie Luna is with us this morning. We're learning about. We just learned about the Eddie 3 touch. So we're going to learn more and chat more with Eddie Luna. Homeowner Net Worth has skyrocketed. Saluting Service, California's nonprofit, uplifting veterans, all that and more. Reach me anytime off air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you can retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis. rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
Hey friends, do you dream of mortgage-free home ownership? Are you aware that even if you own your home free and clear, it could still be costing you thousands per year? The Siegel Lending Team can help you generate tax-free income, accumulate family wealth, and maintain ownership of your home. By simply emailing your most recent mortgage statement, you'll receive a no-obligation real estate plan. Learn more by calling 1-800-306-1990 or email me your recent mortgage statement to PEAR@RonSiegelRadio.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by rsrmoney.com. rsrmoney.com. Homeowner net worth has skyrocketed. If you're weighing your option to decide whether it makes more sense to rent or buy a home today, here's one key data point that could help you feel more confident in making your decision. Every 3 years, the Federal Reserve Board releases the Survey of Consumer Finances, SCF. That report covers the difference in net worth for both homeowners and renters. Spoiler alert. Easy for me to say. Spoiler alert. The gap between the two is significant. The average homeowner's net worth is almost 40 times greater than a renter's. And you want the data to prove it? If you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, any of our socials, or the ABC News and Talk AM 1490, FM 98.1 video feed, you're seeing a chart. Homeowners, 396,200, and the renters, 10,400. In the previous version of that report, the net worth of the average homeowner was roughly 255,000, and that of the average renter was 6,300. But in the release that just came out this year, the gap widened as homeowner net worth climbed dramatically. As the Survey of Consumer Finances report says, quote, the 2019-2022 growth in median net worth was the largest 3-year increase over the history of the modern SCF, more than double the next largest one on record, unquote. One of the biggest reasons homeowner net worth skyrocketed is home equity. Hello, Zillow, can you hear me? Over the last few years, known as the unicorn years for housing, home prices went through the roof. That's because there weren't enough homes for sale, and there was a big influx of buyers rushing to buy them and take advantage of then record low mortgage rates. That imbalance of supply and demand pushed prices higher and higher. As a result, most homeowners who had a home during that time saw their equity grow a lot. If you're still in the middle of making your decision on whether to rent or buy, you may wonder if you missed the boat on the big net worth boost. But here's what you need to realize. As a recent article in Ascent explains, quote, whether your net worth increased in recent years or not, there are steps you can take to boost that number in the coming years. Buying a home can be a great way to grow your net worth since home values have a tendency to rise over time, unquote. Historically, home prices climb over time. Even now that mortgage rates are closer to 7 to 8%, prices are still rising in many areas of the country because supply is still low compared to demand. That's why expert forecasts for the next few years calling for ongoing appreciation, not just at a pace that's more typical for the housing market, not the crazy unicorn numbers. While it likely won't be the record ramp up that happened over the last few years, people who buy now should continue to grow equity in the years ahead. That means if you're ready and able to buy a home today, you'll be making an investment that'll help build your net worth in the long run. As Jessica Lotz, Deputy Chief Economist at the National Association of Realtors says, when deciding to rent versus buy, one must calculate the total cost of home ownership. Hello, Zillow, are you there? Maintenance, utilities, commuting, and total financial benefit based on new Fed data. The median net worth of homeowners was $396,200 versus renters $10,400. There is no question about the wealth gains that homeownership provides, unquote. Bottom line, if you're on the fence about whether to buy or rent, just get a rent versus buy analysis. We do them for free all the time. And give us a call, 800-306-1990. Be happy to put you in touch with the analysis and then a great realtor who can help you with it. Sitting right next to me, Eddie Luna.
Yeah.
That is the real-time real estate segment brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. Continue our conversation. Retired Army veteran Eddie Luna is with us, and we're chatting. We're just chatting, just a couple of folks having a chat as we say thank you to our veterans all week long. So, Eddie, what is your thoughts about what's going on in the market? You specialize Orange County, and you also work in Las Vegas.
I do. I'm actually a broker in Las Vegas,
Okay.
and I'm a broker here.
So you go both ways.
I go both ways, the right way,
There you
right? Been doing it about 20 years. There's a variation, as you know, Ron. A lot of people actually are moving out of California, moving into Texas, moving into Nevada.
It's a real surprise.
No
Eddie.
surprise, right?
Absolutely.
Right. But I was reading yesterday where we've had influx of 40,000 people from Texas that have been moving here. So you have
Those are coming from the border, and I'm not going to go there.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, is it tough in California? Yes, it is. Can you make it in California? Yes, we can.
Absolutely.
Right. Everything
And you
is
still look at the percentages, Eddie. I mean, I'm just a numbers guy. You're the man on the street and know what's going on out there. But
Right.
I'm just a numbers guy, and I just look at it and say, Orange County, California, at 5.3% or whatever the number is, it's a massive appreciation, and you're not seeing that all over the world.
Well, you know what I say, Ron? I say the interest rates are up, but so should our energy. Our energy should be up to want to be able to buy. If you buy now, you have something to trade or work up, to something bigger in the future. But if you don't, then you won't have that. You're going to have the appreciation, the tax breaks of writing off property taxes, your interest, it's insured. You can't go wrong. You can't. So
well, you hit on something there that I want to dig into a little bit, Eddie, because we know that there's a lot of first-time buyers out there, and this report from Zillow is completely stupid, scaring our first-time buyers.
Yeah.
But you made a comment right there that really needs to be heard, and that is you don't have to start with your dream home.
No.
Right? You just have to start.
But start now.
Right.
Now, I do realize that some people have to rent. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it.
Sure.
But most people who do rent would rather buy.
Right.
And they, what the biggest dilemma I see.
So then you need to go to that Eddie 3-touch or
definitely.
What was the slogan? Walk and talk, and then there's some.
I walk and talk and meet and greet.
Right. So
Eddie's ready.
So my comment there is, if you're needing to rent right now, somebody could still probably, I'm guessing, I'm not going to put words in your mouth, but I'm going to just guess. They can still call you and get on a game plan for buying, right?
Absolutely. People always ask me, Eddie, when is the best time to buy? Is it a seller's market or a buyer's market? Here's what I tell them. I look on the MLS. I can
multiple listing service.
I can type in any zip code in the 58 counties, and I guarantee last month something sold, which means somebody bought.
Right.
It's still happening. The time is now. But what I have seen, the dilemma I've seen, is that people don't know what they don't know.
Absolutely.
And that's why Ron Siegel is here and Eddie Luna is here, and we're going to let you know what you need to know. And all you have to do is call us.
Right. And sometimes people are going to the wrong sources, and I don't say that begrudgingly, but what I mean by that is, you might go to your neighbor who has all great intentions of giving you great advice.
Right.
But they're not doing it every day.
They're not a lender. They're not a realtor. And then people are going to Dr. Google, right?
Right.
And meeting, I don't know, Mr. Zillow or whatever. So, if you needed plumbing in your house, why would you call an electrician?
Absolutely.
Right?
Certainly wouldn't call this lender here because I don't even know how to use a screwdriver.
Oh, gosh.
Right? I mean, and I know to stay in my lane. Right? I'm not going to even try and help somebody with a plumbing. The only thing I can do to help somebody with a plumbing issue is give them a good number for a plumber.
Or call home warranty, $85, right?
Right, exactly.
Something like that.
So you're spot on there, Eddie.
Yeah, it's
now, do you think inflation has any pro or con with the thought should we buy or not buy? I mean, do you see a crash coming?
Ron, I have another slogan. I have a lot of slogans. I don't worry about what's going on in the White House. I worry more what's going on in my house. And that if you want there's a difference between a home and a house.
Sure.
Anybody can have a house, but when you purchase, you're actually purchasing your home. That is your main domicile. And
I call it your castle. And it doesn't matter whether it's a $100,000 manufactured home or a $100 million mansion.
A 2-bedroom townhome is fine.
It's your castle.
It's yours. But here's the key word. It's a start. It's a start. What's that favorite word in bankruptcy? It's a fresh start and a new beginning. And it can be your beginning if you pick up that phone and call right now. I think it's what, 800-306-1990, right? The year I was born. Yeah, right. No, I'm just kidding there. But don't worry about inflation. Worry about what you need to do.
That's a good point.
Do it.
You know, and there's a lot of real wisdom there, Eddie, because you know, so many people and my household, my wife, my son, they get mad at me because I listen to the news and they say, you know something, can't we turn something else on? Even a rerun of 2.5 Men. They're thrilled to just listen to something different because very little that's going on in the news has anything to do with our house, our grocery bill, you know, the things that are going on in our world.
You know, Ron, they're focused. They're focused on that, so you'll watch their channel.
Right.
But you know what? The average layman person needs to hear the three most important things I feel on this while you're on this earth is either having kids, getting married, or buying that special home. Those are the three most sacred, the three most serious, the three most important, right? And so that's why it's important to find out utilizing the right avenues to seek in order to find.
That's some great information right there. It's really the idea of getting good guidance. Somebody that you can, you know, and you know, there's plenty of people that don't like me, but I can introduce you to somebody you might like, right? But I still want you to get. I've been doing this show for 13 years now, and our whole focus has always been on getting people educated so they can make the best. You can't make an educated decision if you're not educated. Just throw that out there. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, more with retired veteran Eddie Luna. We appreciate his service as we celebrate all of our veterans this week. Saluting Service, California's nonprofits, uplifting veterans. We've got an add-on to that list that I'm going to talk, just a small list. When we come back, you can reach me anytime off air, number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender. Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you can retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis, rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com. Are you tired of paying rent? Are you tired of paying someone else's mortgage? Do you know qualified folks can potentially purchase a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket? Ron Siegel can help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. If you're tired of paying someone else's mortgage, reach out to Ron today at RonIsMyLender.com. That's RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. This segment brought to you by RSRVAloans.com, RSRVAloans.com. We love our veterans. There's our segment here, Saluting Service, California's nonprofits uplifting veterans. Today we shine a light on the heart of California's community. Our nonprofits working tirelessly to uplift our veterans. These are the organizations turning gratitude into action, ensuring that our heroes' sacrifices are honored with the support and recognition they deserve. First up, we have California Veterans Assistance Foundation. Group is on the front lines providing housing and critical resources to homeless veterans. Their mission is simple yet powerful. No one who served our country should ever be in need of a roof over their head or essential services. Next, Operation Gratitude. This remarkable organization fosters appreciation through care packages and letters of thanks. These parcels are more than just items. They're tangible expressions of our nation's gratitude, bridging the gap between civilians and service members. Another beacon of hope is the Veterans Resource Centers of America with locations throughout the state. They offer a sanctuary for healing and growth. Their programs range from mental health services to employment assistance, empowering our veterans to reintegrate into civilian life with dignity and purpose. We've also got we recognize the Warrior Canine Connection. Unique nonprofit pairs veterans with service dogs. These loyal companions are more than pets. They're fellow warriors providing comfort and support to those coping with invisible wounds of war. Eddie, you had another one that you were just telling me about during the break. The Affinity Veterans?
Yeah, Trinity Veterans.
Trinity
Veterans is one of my friends. She's doing that to recognize women veterans. They're gonna have a big event on November 18th.
Very, very important. I'm going to share something with you. I just heard this. I have not got independent confirmation, but I just heard we used to talk about the number 22 was a very important number, a very sad number. And I had heard that's the number of veterans that used to be that were committing suicide. I've heard that number is now 44. And the challenge, the vast majority of that increase is because of women veterans. So organizations like this become very, very important. And I'm going to share with you, I share this every time. There's no veteran that ever needed any help. Just ask them. But every veteran is willing to help a fellow veteran. So if you know somebody that needs help, bring them to one of these organizations. They're there to help. They're there to serve. Organizations embody the best of California spirit. Their commitment to our veterans reflects our values of service and community. As we close today's spotlight, let's remember the power of unity and the difference we can make when we come together to support our veterans. Join me in saluting these nonprofits and consider how you can get involved. Your home and your country are your biggest investments. Let's take care of both. That is our segment today. VA Saluting Service, RSRVAloans.com. RSRVAloans.com. We put together a whole educational series on the VA home loan. And Eddie, I know you're a big fan of that VA home loan as well.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna put you on the spot. I'm gonna give you a second here because I'm gonna really put you on the spot.
Uh-oh.
Is there a single story that you can remember of a veteran that you were really able to help with a VA home loan? I know there's probably lots of them, but is there one single one?
You know, there was in my Nevada office.
Okay.
There was one. He, from what I remember, he had applied for a loan. He got VA approved. It was zero down, but at that time, Ron, the VA funding fee was a lot, and he respectfully didn't have the money. So I didn't know at the time, you know, as a realtor, 18 years ago, coming out of Nellis Air Force Base there. But as I looked into it, I found out that he had a disability. So he had that disability. Guess what happens to that, that extra VA funding fee, it was called at the time? They waived it.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
he got in the house. He couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. But, the most important thing is that, he had served his country. He had lost a leg and the
Wow.
sacrifice that he had to go through. But he still lives today in a very nice house.
Well, and the beauty of what you're explaining there, Eddie, in this, I love the story because it's going, and once you get the information and have that conversation and get to know the person,
Right.
then you're able to go on and do the exploration if you don't already know the guidelines, right? That he didn't have to pay a funding fee. And he could have gone to some other individual that didn't care as much as you. And, they just say the funding fee is 3% or 3.15 or whatever it is right now.
That's a lot.
And that could be a lot of money.
Yeah.
Right. Generally, they'll add it to the loan if you have it. But the bottom line is disabilities is one of the issues where the funding fee is waived.
Exactly.
Go to rsrvaloans.com. There's a whole series there that gives you information like that. It's nothing to sell, nothing to buy. Doesn't cost you a thing. We just did a multi-week series on Ron Siegel Radio, and we put it on there, rsrvaloans.com. You can go there and just watch the series and then find somebody like Eddie who has a passion for helping, right? There's Eddie, I'm going to throw it out there. There's a lot of people that are out there just to collect a commission. And, I'm not a fan of that. I'm a fan of people. The reason I bring people like yourself on the show is it's people with a heart, right? Out there to help people.
Right.
Right.
Right. It's always good to be humble, like, of course, our maker, and put people first. My definition of humility is to not think of yourself less. It's to think of yourself less and put others first.
So
that's the key word.
I'm going to throw a little bit more on there with you. When I was getting married, my parents were married for a lot of years. I was blessed. In fact, my wife and I were both blessed to attend both of our parents' 50th anniversaries.
50.
Both, both sides of the family, over 50 years of marriage. Don't have any of them left anymore. But my dad said to me before we got married, he said, son, remember one thing. If you'll put your wife first always, and always give 60 and expect 40.
Right.
You're always giving more than what you expect. It'll be a recipe for a long life, a happy life.
Yeah, in 50, I mean, I totally respect that. Mine's a little different. My parents were married 67 years.
Wow.
And my father said something similar because I said, Dad, how did you do it? And he said, you have to give up your rights and put the woman first.
Absolutely.
And happy wife, happy
67
life.
years.
67.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
rare.
It is. It's very rare, but it's work, and you have to have a plan, like you just talked about.
Well, the thing is, even when you buy a house or get a loan, you have to be and stay committed.
Absolutely.
You have to.
Yeah, you have to be.
Commitment is everything.
Absolutely. So I know we've just got about a minute left. Josh is probably going to tell me I go over again, which I do all the time.
Oh, okay.
which is not news, but when you talk to, being that you've got an office here in Orange County, you've got an office in Las Vegas, do you find people investing in both areas? What's your thoughts about investing in multiple states?
Investments. I don't have too many investors here in California. My main office is in Beaumont, California.
Beaumont. Okay.
Beaumont out there. Yeah. Near Redlands, Calamasa out there. I work for a wonderful broker, Lysandra Gayton. She's wonderful. But mostly in my Nevada office is where people are investing. Why? Because, a lot of people are working from home. It's cheaper. Our property tax rate is, around 1%. And if you work there, we don't take state income tax out of your check. So you're buying low, they're renting high, or sell high, or never sell. Pay it off and you'll have instant cash flow, right? Most of the properties are a lot newer. We don't have too much land anymore. You can't buy land anymore, right? So it's getting infiltrated. And as you know, next week we're going to have the 10 Formula Grand Prix race.
Wow.
Starting on November
Josh, you going
16th.
to that? You going to the Grand Prix, Josh? No.
November
So-
16th.
A lot of good stuff going on. So appreciate you coming in, Eddie. Appreciate your service. If you want more information, you want to meet Eddie Luna, give me a call at 800-306-1990. Be happy to introduce you. And as always, I ask, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to Josh and Sean for engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.
Tomorrow all the things were gone. Work